Good afternoon. It is probably evening for some of you. Set. The sun is setting, not rising and shine. We're gonna rise and shine anyways. I'm a little late today. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I hope that all of you have tuned in already and listened to the theme song. The theme song. Ooh, I should probably hit record. Record. Okay. So sorry, I am late. I woke up a little late today, guys. So, okay. And we're live. Hello. Welcome to Rise and Shine with Morning Moon. We made it. Oh, we made it to Friday. And we're here. Whew. Okay. So, I'm a little late today. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I had some stuff going on and I woke up late and I was just exhausted. So I'm going to be real with you guys. I kind of dropped the ball this morning, but I'm still here. So here we are, rise and shine. It's almost the weekend. We had a really long, well, it was really quick, but it was a really good week. I don't know about you guys, but I had a really good week and it was great. And next week's going to be even better. So I hope that you had a wonderful day today. And today is just a great day to talk about miracles. Before you before you guys start thinking that I am going to go on one today, I am just going to talk to you guys a little bit about my week and tie everything together. Let me give myself a second because my house is a little active at the moment. And so I'm going to settle it down here. I'm going to settle down a little bit in the house so that we can have a conversation. Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Active house today. So it's Friday. It's Friday afternoon. And if you've been rocking with me all week long, you already know that we've been digging deep. But today we are going even deeper. Is that even possible? Is that even possible to go deeper? But it is. So if you haven't already anchored into the morning moon rise and shines checklist in the group, make sure that you anchor in. I know it's the afternoon. If you only do one thing today, just make sure to check it off and anchor into your morning foundation or your daily foundations. Gosh, you can tell I'm off today. Deep breath. So, hi guys, welcome. Welcome to Rise and Shine with Morning Moon. My name is Coach Lacey and it's Friday. If you've been rocking with me all week, you already know we've been digging deep. But today we're going to go even deeper. We're going to talk a little bit about miracles. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do that. And we are going to get started. So I want to talk to you a little bit about miracles today because I witnessed one. I witnessed one this week and it was pretty wild. And I wasn't sure if I was like tripping or not, but I wasn't tripping. I'm not talking about the kind of miracles that Disney throws at you, not the Disney fairy godmother, wish upon a star kind, like actual real miracles. The kind that shift our perception, the kind that stretch us just a little bit, the kind that shift us into a new level, right? Like if you witness a miracle, there's something crazy that happens to where you shift into a whole new level, depending on what that is, a whole level of consciousness, a whole level of physical reality, whatever that miracle brings you, you're shifting into a miracle. I mean, shifting into a different level, like real miracles, the ones that shock you into reality, the one that kind of wake you up, right? There's miracles sometimes that just wake you up. And the thing that I want you guys to really hear today is that miracles don't just happen to you. We participate in them, right? Does that make you kind of take a pause? Like we are participating in the miracle. Miracles are happening all the time, and most of the time we don't have the eyes to see them. Like I'm not talking about the kind of like part the seas, walking on water type of moment. I'm talking about everyday miracles, small miracles, the little things. Our ability to perceive miracles is limited because we've been trained to kind of bypass them. And, this week I witnessed an actual straight up like real life miracle. And it wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't like, it wasn't, it was real. It was a straight up divinely orchestrated moment that changed me and changed my life. It changed my life. It changed the trajectory of my life. And it changed who I am as a person. One moment. And the best part of it all is I straight up asked for it. I straight up asked, okay, God, I'm here. I'm open. I want to witness a miracle. I don't care what it is. Like, make it snow. I don't care. And he did. He did. He showed me my miracle. And, I want you guys to consider when moving forward in your life and witnessing miracles and witnessing things that are somewhat unbelievable, that it might be that you've experienced multiple miracles in your life, and that you've witnessed things that you can't explain, and you just simply bypassed it, right? Like, you might not believe in miracles because it's not because they don't exist, but it's because you're just stopped noticing them, or you're just not perceiving, right? And miracles, they're not always loud. This one for me this was loud. This was a loud miracle. This was an answered prayer. But it made me realize that all the other little miracles in my life, the small wonders, the little small wonders in life, it made me realize where there were other miracles in my life. And we don't, miracles are natural. They're a natural occurring thing. And when they don't occur, that actually means something's gone wrong. And I read that oh my God, I read that in a book. I'm sorry. My life is like, my phone is going off the hook right now. And like, I'm sorry, guys. So sorry. Anchoring back in. It's the afternoon. This is why we do things in the morning here, because busy time for me. But I wanted to show up and give a good word. So here I am. You're kind of watching me a little bit raw right now, raw in the middle of my day after a lot. And I have like a lot going on. So I apologize that it's a little offbeat today. I'm a little offbeat, but I want to be real with you guys and show up authentically. So my afternoons are busy and my house is a little loud and things are a little bit chaotic right now, but I'm here. So miracles. My miracle. So my miracle. I don't really want to share publicly what the miracle was because it's a private thing for me. But I will say that I went to church on Thursday, and one of my friends had come out and said that he has a second set of twins, and he's like in his 50s, and his wife is like my age, which is incredible. So this was really inspiring to me, especially twins, because like he's got one set of twins, now they're having another set of twins. My brothers were twins, like Hunter was a twin, like I have a really big things with twins. And so I thought to myself, God, I would really love to witness a miracle. I would really love, I don't care what it is. Can it be snow like on the mountains, me being pregnant, money, whatever it is. I just want something that's really like undeniably a miracle. And the very next day, I had something occur that just blew my mind, absolutely blew my mind. And I wasn't sure if it was real or whatever. And I kind of like sat on it, and it didn't fully transpire the way I thought it would until yesterday. And it was right when I was losing my faith that it was actually going to transpire, that it happened. It was right in the moment, like right at that critical moment. I had like literally a mustard seed left, and the miracle happened, and it was like wild to me. Like, I wish I could share, but I'm not going to because it's just personal. And it was just something that changed my life. and it changed me forever. And it made me really believe in people, and it really made me believe in my own abilities. It was an affirmation of where I'm going and where my business is going. And it really was something that shifted my perception at the core. Like it shifted my perception of people, God, miracles, my trajectory, my life, what it means at my core. Like it was just a huge shift. So my life right now, I'm in this place. You're watching this. I'm stretching. I'm becoming a different version of myself. And I think that's the purpose of miracles. And the purpose of miracles is for us to know that we don't live in this 3D reality. We actually live in this 5D reality where there's a lot going on around us that we don't see. And so we're missing pieces, right? And one of the things that we don't see is miracles. We've literally been trained not to see miracles. Like, think about it, you guys. Like, really, think about it. Little miracles, small wonders. Like, what are the small wonders in your life? The thing about miracles is they rarely ever show up the way that it showed up for me this way, like a big booming voice from the heavens. Like once in a while they do, and it's freaking incredible when it does. And then that really solidifies your belief in God and your belief in just a divine design and a higher purpose. But we have miracles every single day that slip into our reality like a little note tucked under a door. Boop. Boop, and we're missing it, think about it, like that conversation with someone that you just like needed to have, and it was just so soul nourishing, or a delay that saved you from something unexpected and tragic, or you're rushing. Like the other day, I was rushing to the store and I didn't even know why. I was just rushing to the store, and it was my daughter's 18th birthday, and I had this cake, and I was walking through the store, and all of a sudden I run into one of my dear friends who was like so excited that it was Faye's birthday and bought her a gift card and all this cool stuff. That was a little miracle, because that day I didn't really have enough money to buy my daughter um what I wanted to buy her. I could only really buy her a cake that day. And like, one little present. I couldn't get her what I wanted to. But the next, days after that, I was able to, luckily. But in that moment, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And it happened. It was super cool. It was super, or like a whisper, those things, those miracles, those small wonders, like a whisper in your heart that told you exactly what you needed to hear, like that little voice. Like this show, for me, this show and Morning Moon, Rise and Shine. My group used to be called Morning Moon's Wellness Wonderland. And before that, it was Lacey Listens. And before that, it was Ignite, Light Up Your Life. Like my group, my Facebook group where you go anchor in with your foundations, that was divinely inspired. Like that, the checklist was divinely inspired. It's just a little whisper. The name change was divinely inspired. Just a little whisper. Rise and shine with Morning Moon. The show was divinely inspired. Just a little whisper. You have to hear those things. You have to have the ears to hear those whispers. Right? To have the ears to hear the whispers. So how do you hear them when you're just like depleted and you've been through something and you're just done? How do you hear those things? Right? Well, there's a really cool book, and this is what started me. I don't read this much anymore. I'll preface that because I read my Bible a lot. But there's a really good book, and it's called A Course in Miracles. And in this book, it talks about miracles, and it says miracles are natural. And when they do not occur, something has gone wrong, right? It's a natural state. Isn't that wild? Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. What if miracles are not some rare once in a lifetime thing? Like, what if they're our natural state? Like, we are connected to God, and God is the divine, and God's natural state is miracle, right? Like, what if the only reason that you don't see them is because you've been trained not to? So the question then is, how do we start to see the miracles? Like at the core essence of what a miracle is, it's all about perception, and it's all about belief, and it's all about the mustard seed. It's all about the mustard seed. Ask yourself some questions like, what is your biggest frustration? What is your biggest frustration? And maybe shift your perception. When you're shifting your perception, you're stretching yourself, right? And so what if your biggest frustration is actually just the beginning of your greatest blessing? And what if something that feels like a no is actually just divine redirection? What if God is just saying, hey, let's go over here instead of over here? And what if the thing that you've been begging God for is already on the way, but you're so focused on controlling how it arrives that you're missing it? You're missing the boat completely. Now, you guys know me. I love to connect the practical with the spiritual. I'm all about tangible, tactile, tangible things. So I want to talk about a foundation where miracles can actually show up. One of the best tools I've ever used, I'm going to hammer this home again, is the circle of life exercise. This is something that I learned when I studied at the Integrative Institute for Nutrition back in 2012. And honest to God, it's been guiding my life ever since. I check in every single season. Every season of my life, I'm about to do a check-in when the spring equinox hits. Like I am like, this is what I do. Every season of change, I check in with myself. And that's the way that I celebrate the seasons, is my circle of life, to see where I'm at and see what I need to work on. It's never going to be perfect. There will be seasons where it feels like the pie is full, but typically those seasons shift and things change. So we're always going to have something that we need to work on, right? So the reason I use the circle of life is because it breaks your existence into key areas: health, relationships, finances, spirituality, career, joy, creativity, etc. That's how I'm able to build the business that I have, because if you enter the circle of life if you enter my business and your circle is out of balance, we're going to find where you're out of balance and we're going to work on that. And so if you're out of balance with your food, we're going to work on that. If you're out of balance with your career, we're going to work on that. If we're out of balance with relationships, we're going to work on that. That's why I have so many different offerings. That's why there's so many different ways to work with me, because life is not, you can't put it in a box. It's a circle of life, right? There's key areas. And so where do miracles fit into this, right? Like, where do miracles actually fit into this? Why are we talking about miracles and the circle of life? Well, miracles tend to show up in the areas where you create space for them. So if you're constantly anxious about money and you're closing yourself off and you're not even open to receiving abundance, you're an energetic match for what you put out there. So if you're worrying all the time, you're going to get more things that cause worry. So the trick is to shift your energetic focus into something that creates life. You want to pour into your life. You don't want to be tipping the bucket over, right? And for example, another thing, money's always a really good one, but another one would be resentment. Like if you're holding resentment for like friendships, like say you lost a friend and you're holding resentment for this person, that is not going to allow space for new friendships because you're holding on to this bitter resentment. So in order to let miracles flow properly, we have to identify the areas in which we are out of balance so that we can create the space, we can work that out, create the space for something beautiful. And if you believe that things will never work out for you, do you think that your brain is even going to recognize it when they do? If you genuinely believe that nothing is going to work out for you, how will you see the blessings when they flow? It's going to be difficult. You won't recognize them. So count your blessings. That's the gratitude. Count your blessings. Have a gratitude journal. Start with your socks. Go up to your, shirt. Go to your hair. There's some people in this life who don't, who can't walk. Like, there's some people in this life who are sleeping on the street in Skid Row. You're complaining about your house, but there are people who would give anything just to have not a box to sleep in. So you need to anchor in and you need to check yourself season after season. Where am I out of alignment? What am I an energetic match for? What energy am I putting out that I'm receiving? Where do I need to shift? What needs to shift? What's out of balance? What do I need to work on? What rituals and habits do I need to implement into my daily life that this out imbalance can come into balance? And then you create space for miracles. I had to stop believing that I was going to be broke for the rest of my life in order for things to shift for me. I've entered a new level. Things are thriving for me. Miracles are occurring. I shifted my thoughts. I shifted my reality by shifting my thoughts. I've lived in a place of lack for so long that I finally just rose to the occasion and said, you know what? I've got this. I don't feel the lack. I feel the abundance and the love for my family and the changes and and rather than focus on the things that aren't going right, like, chronic illness or whatever, I'm focusing on what's going right, focusing on things that are going wrong. I'm focusing on things that are going right. So instead of focusing on like my husband being sick, I'm focusing on the fact that we're getting closer because of our walk with Jesus, like the walk in Christ. Like focus on the right things and the right blessings will flow in. Okay. So anchor in, get to that daily checklist. If you can only do one thing, you can only do one thing. That's for today. That's why we have the foundation, because if it gets cracked, we're still building. We're still building. You got this. The miracle that you are looking for might actually be you. That's kind of big, right? Miracles aren't things that just happen to us. Sometimes we're the miracle. I'm a miracle. I am a living miracle. My mother prayed for me when I was my daughter's age to be happy, healthy, and sober. My husband is a miracle. My daughter is a miracle. My whole family is a miracle. You are a miracle, whatever you have been through. Someone has been praying for a breakthrough for you, and you might be the one holding the key to make the choice to make the difference. Someone is searching for hope. You might show up in their world and shine a light and be the light that leads them back. What if you are the miracle? Someone is lost. There's someone out there that's lost. And maybe they come talk to you. Maybe it's your words that anchor them back in and help them find a way. That is why this show exists. We are all living miracles. This show was divinely inspired to give you this word. So if you are listening to me right now, God led you here. I don't do this because I want to be famous. I don't do this because I want my internet channel to blow up. I don't do this because I want clients. I do this because my heart is in a place of I want to give people a good word because I have woken up in tears so many days from the tragedies that I have ensued and the chaos I have walked through. I see it happening in my friends. It was okay when it was me. I didn't care. I can get through it. But when I see it's my friends and all the people I love and they're struggling people that I see as really strong, like formidable beings and they are broken, that is why I do this. I don't do this for my ego and it's coming from a different place. What are the tables that you are sitting at? Like, what are the tables that you're sitting at, right? You might be out here waiting for a miracle. Meanwhile, someone else is waiting for you to step into your purpose so that you can actually help perform miracles. We are the miracle. We are the link in the chain. There's got to be the leader always is following and is always having someone following them. We are the link in the chain. So wake up to your purpose. This world is a divine design. It's time for you to step into that and stop making it all about you. It's not about me. It's not about proving yourself to someone. It's not about how you can show up and make someone like you or be cool or make a sale or whatever. It's really just not about that at all. Not at all. So what can you do for someone else without any strings attached. You know, what tables are you sitting at? We talked a lot this week about what tables are you sitting at. And that comes from a place of I've been sitting at different tables physically and virtually. I've been sitting at the right tables. And I'll tell you, the tables I'm sitting at are spirit led and spirit filled. I'm not sitting at tables that are devoid of the spirit. I'm not sitting sure, there'll be a few people at my tables that, there'll be a person here or there that doesn't get it and isn't vibing with everyone else. Their energy's off because they're stuck in their ego. But then the rest of us are flowing. The hair in the suit. They'll get out of it. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. But it's all about how you want to show up in the world to help others. Like we rise to help others. It's not about me. It's how do we want to show up in the world so that it is truly for me, for you, for us. We hear that a lot. What does it mean? It doesn't mean we show up and we're doing things for us because me. We got to set down the me and start thinking about the we and start thinking about the he. Because your life is not your own. Your purpose is divine. And we're here to create miracles. You are a miracle. You are a miracle. You have a family member who's struggling with addiction and you're not, and you are helping them through, you are a miracle to that person, I promise you. If you have someone who's walking through illness and they have chronic illness and they just need someone to give them positive love and just helping hand, you just being there, you're a miracle to that person. So notice the small things, okay? Here's my challenge to you this weekend. You won't see me for the next 2 days unless you watch a replay. I want you to look for the miracles. Expect them. But then I need you to acknowledge them. Acknowledge them. The tiny miracles, the small wonders. The finding the parking spot that you asked for, finding the pin that you've lost. Having something show up that you've prayed for. The little things. It's raining outside, whatever. Like the little things. Notice the little miracles. I had a conversation with this person. It was so soul nourishing. Oh, just love them. I had the best coffee this morning with my girlfriends. So good. What a miracle that both of my friends could be in the same place at the same time. Legit. Like I legitimately had coffee with two of my favorite people in the whole world this morning. And one of them is a world traveler who just never settled ever. And now she finally has a home. She's getting married and she's living her dream. And she's been a miracle to me and I've been a miracle to her multiple times. And then our friend got to join. Same thing. She's been a miracle to me. I've been a miracle to her multiple times. And then we get to join together at this table and sit and have coffee and enjoy each other. What a miracle. What a miracle that we could be in the same place at the same time together and not on the internet. It was a miracle. Small wonder. Small wonder. Acknowledge that. The miracles don't always show up with flashing lights and angel choirs. Sometimes they just show up as a tiny shift, a moment of clarity, that light bulb moment, the conversation that changes the course of your life. Conversations matter. Responses matter. Matters. Okay? All these things matter. How you treat people, it matters. Every interaction matters. Remember what I told you guys about the girl who kicked the hot dog cart? That matters. I'll never forget that. Ever. You don't treat people that way. And that changed my perception of how, to show up in the world for myself. So if you want to go deeper into this work, my group coaching experience starts at the end of March. Applications are opening today. If you're ready to step into the life that you're meant for, let's do this together. You can apply now at my website, www.lacyjwatson.com. With that, that's it for today, my lovely, lovely people. Stay curious, stay open, and remember, miracles are the language of the universe. Listen, expect it, and acknowledge it. Have a great weekend. Happy Monday. Make sure to anchor into your foundations if you haven't already. Don't get lost in the shuffle, and I hope that you have a beautiful one.